One of the biggest questions as you near your move is what to pack and what to leave behind. And to be honest, it is one of the most important questions because you've probably had a whole life before you decided to move to the UK. And now that means you're going to leave a lot of your belongings behind, not because you want to, but because of space constraints and other such reasons. In today's video, we're going to try and help you figure out what you should take with you on that flight and what things need to just be left behind. Hi, if you're new to my channel, my name is Ashika, and on this channel we talk about tips on moving to the UK and what your life's going to look like once you get here. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so. You can also follow me on Instagram at absolutely Ashika. Right, so when we decided to move to the UK, I started packing about a month in advance, and I started off with the clothes because there were easier decisions to make over there. Even then, as we neared the moving date, we realized that we had severely underestimated how many belongings we had. And on the day of the moving, I was so overwhelmed with how much we had. This was despite giving things away and selling a bunch of things. We still had so much left that towards the end, I honestly just broke down just because I was so upset over how much stuff we had to leave behind, and I hadn't planned for it earlier. I hadn't come to terms with it, so it was honestly this horrible shock that was coming to me towards the end. But hopefully you get a better idea after this video. So the most important thing first, what documents do you actually need to take with you, along with you on the flight, that are extremely important? I'm going to just skim through your passport, your visa, and your tickets because that's just common sense, and I'm sure you'll not forget those as the most important documents. Apart from that, you also need your driver's license. If you've got an international driver's license, absolutely great. If you haven't, please apply for one. It will allow you to drive in the UK for about a year after you get here. Now, just in case you haven't managed to get your international driving license and your partner or your friend has, and you plan on buying a car together, do take your Indian driving license to the UK because you simply cannot buy a car in the UK without your Indian driving license. Apart from this, you will also need all of the original certificates of your education. So your 10th mark sheets, your 12th mark sheets, all of your experience letters. If you've been working in the past, do remember to take all the originals with you in a file. All right, so in terms of household things, pack the bare minimum, the absolute bare minimum. You are going to think that these things aren't available here, but trust me, they are. In case of household things, the only things I would say would be to pack a pressure cooker. The reason why I say a pressure cooker is because a lot of Indian food is made in a pressure cooker. You make all of your dals and your rice and your khichdi. So the pressure cooker is probably the most important Indian cooking utensil there is. And also apart from that, pressure cookers are really expensive in the UK. So we just got one pressure cooker from India, and we took a couple of extra those rubber thingies, I really don't know what it's called, and a spare whistle as well, just in case it went bad. And that's it. Do not take any other vessels, irrespective of what anyone tells you, simply because it's all available. Now, in case you have your doubts, head over to the IKEA website, and I say IKEA simply because it has the largest variety and it delivers everywhere and it's rather inexpensive. Head over there and check out what they have listed. They have pretty much everything you would need, from ladles to kadhais to a chopping board and knives and cutlery. They have everything, and they deliver in like 1 to 2 days. So why would you fill your suitcases with kadhais and frying pans and saucepans? It's honestly not required. You get all of this stuff over here. In case you're worried that you don't find a balan on IKEA, do not worry. There will be an Indian store somewhere or the other close by where you will get one. Trust me, look at the number of Indians living in the UK. There is absolutely no way you will not get a balan in the UK. Apart from this, the only other thing I'd say to pack would be tape, like masking tape or sellotape or any of those big heavy duty tapes. And you need a pair of scissors for most scenarios to cut any of the tags, to cut the tape, to cut this, that, whatever. You always need a pair of scissors with you and a pen. Trust me, you will need a pen for most things. So carry one or two pens with you. It's extremely important. And for most other things, invest in a Swiss Army knife, the one with the multiple thingies that come out. You have a nail cutter, you have a knife, you have a corkscrew, you have a bottle opener. It's honestly so many things in one that it saves you from having to carry multiple of those things. So go ahead and invest in one of them. Before I go ahead, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please, please, please do so. Please, it's just here. Now coming to one of the other big buckets that occupy a lot of place in your luggage, which is your clothing. And typically what happens to most of us is we tend to overpack clothes because we always overestimate how much we actually need. So this is really important now. Let's be very honest. All you need is a couple of pair of jeans. So don't go overboard and take 10 or 12 pairs of jeans. You really don't need those many. And if you do, just come here and buy a few pairs. Let's be very honest. You've got a limited amount of luggage, that's 23 kgs per person. And all those 12 pairs of jeans are probably not going to be as important when you're moving, right? Apart from that, I think the most important thing when it comes to actually packing for the UK is to remember to pack in layers. And the reason why I say this is because the temperature or the weather in the UK tends to change every day. Yesterday was a little warmer. Today it's a lot colder. So it's really important to take clothing so that you can dress in layers. When it comes to shirts, t-shirts, pack about 5 or 6. You can honestly manage within all of these 5 or 6 t-shirts. You wouldn't probably need more than them. We've been here for 3 months now. I've been managing with about 6 pairs of t-shirts or sweaters for the past 3 months. And you know what? It's perfectly fine. I'm not really too fussed about it. So it isn't such a big deal to not have all of your clothes. 5 to 6 pairs should just do fine. Jackets. While coming to the UK, it is extremely important to have jackets. So you need thin jackets and thick jackets. You need waterproof jackets or rain-resistant jackets or water-resistant jackets. So remember to keep all of these in mind. Your thicker jackets can be rain-resistant as well, and your thinner jackets can as well. But do remember, you need at least these 3 variations. Winters can get a little cold in the UK, so you do need your regular socks, and you also need thermal socks for those really cold months, and especially if you're going to live further up north. So do remember to pack at least a couple of pairs of thermal socks. You will definitely need a pair of gloves. You will need a muffler. You'll need a hat because it gets a little windy out here on most days. And if you are going to walk, which most people in the UK do, you walk to the metro, you walk to the grocery shops, you walk to drop your kids off at school, it can get pretty windy and as a result really cold. So do remember to pack a pair of these as well. Getting the right kind of footwear in the UK can be really, really tricky. So my opinion would be get a pair of trainers because there's a lot to walk around in the UK, especially if you decide to go sightseeing. There's honestly quite a bit to walk. So get a pair of good, comfortable trainers. Also get a pair of rain boots or warm, comfortable winter boots. You should ideally buy a pair of gum boots once you come to the UK. And considering they take a lot of place in your luggage, I wouldn't suggest you buy them from India. You get them along from India. Simply pop into one of the stores here and buy them here. It saves a lot of place in your luggage, trust me. Now, I'm somebody who wore a lot of traditional clothing back home, but I'm also somebody who can manage without having traditional clothing here to wear. And so I decided to just pack along 2 kurtas and 1 sari. That's just pretty much it, just in case there's ever an occasion where you need to wear some ethnic clothing. Now, considering that most of the houses in the UK, or actually all the houses in the UK, have heating, you don't need to pack home clothes which are extremely warm. Again, you can use the same layers philosophy that we have for outside clothes as well. Now, because it's the UK, do remember to pack umbrellas. 1 umbrella minimum per person because it can rain quite a bit over here. If you're someone who wears watches and not the new modern day watches which can be charged, but watches which have batteries, Do remember to change the batteries before you leave India because it's honestly much cheaper out there. All right, so moving on to electronics. I think the most important piece of tech you can have over here is a UK adapter, because a lot of the devices you bring which have to be charged aren't really going to fit the sockets here, because the Indian plugs are very different from UK plugs. So do remember to take an adapter. It's extremely important. If you have a universal adapter which works in all countries, perfectly great. If not, please head over to Amazon, buy one. If you haven't managed to buy one in time, you can usually pick them up at the airport as well. But do remember, it's extremely important, or you will not be able to plug in any of your electronic devices into the houses in the UK. Now, because there's also going to be a fair amount of traveling once you get to the UK, there's going to be the airport and getting to your house and house hunting and all of that. It's really important to also have a power bank with you. Yes, your phone may have fast charging or dash charging or all of that, but that also requires having a place to charge these things, which very often you might not have. So do remember to carry a power bank along with you. The other thing you're going to do when you move to the UK is take a lot of pictures. So it's extremely important to have your camera charger on you and multiple memory cards, because trust me, you are going to fly through memory cards. Everything is going to be amazing when you first get here. You're going to want to take pictures of everything, videos of everything to share with your loved ones for your own memories. So do remember to store multiple memory cards with you. Now, if you are an avid reader like I am and you always need to have a book on you, a smart way to save a lot of place would just be to get a Kindle or use the Kindle app on your phone so that you don't have to carry your books along with you. Many of you might prefer hardcover or softcover books to ebooks. The feeling, the smell of the book, I get all of that. But you're trying to cut down on as much space as you can. So if you can't go without reading that book, please remember to invest in a Kindle or use the Kindle app on your phone. Now, when it comes to healthcare products, we usually have preferences, and especially for women, I'm not so sure about men, but when it comes to women, we're usually not too happy with having to change our brands. So while you definitely can buy a lot of your personal care products here, for the first few days, it might help if you took miniature bottles of everything. So take a small little toothpaste, toothbrush, get miniatures of your shampoos. Most good brands have miniatures available for traveling purposes. And your soap, even if you can get face wash instead of soap, it saves you from the hassle of having to deal with soft, soggy soap, which will probably ruin the rest of your belongings. In case you use natural products or you use homemade products, it's going to be a little trickier. So what I did was bought a bunch of my face washes and my soap bars that I swear by, and it's honestly the only thing I have been using for the past 4 or 5 years. So I bought about 10 of them and I packed them and brought them, and I'm going to use them for as long as I can. And once they run out, I'll see if I can get some more shipped here. And if I can't, then I look for alternates here. Remember to take medication for a cold, for a headache, for a fever, for a bad tummy. These are just the basics, that you always require. Remember to pack a lot of band-aids. Remember to take some Dettol, because while you do get all of these things here, in case of an emergency while you're traveling or those first few days when you haven't figured things out, the last thing you want to do is to have to run to the store to buy a couple of band-aids. So do remember to pack something as simple as band-aids. And equally important is to pack the prescriptions along with your medicines. So unless you're carrying some really shady medicine, it's extremely unlikely that you'll be stopped, but just in case, do remember to pack your prescription along with all of your medicines. If you have children, do remember to get their vaccination cards along with you, because when you register at a GP or a general practitioner here, you will need an entire record of what vaccinations your child has received. And in the case of people who wear glasses, do remember to pack both your prescription and an extra pair of glasses, just in case you manage to sit on one and break it. So that rounds off our list of what you should take and a few of what you shouldn't take to the UK. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so. You can also follow me on Instagram at absolutelyashika. Remember to hit on the bell icon for notifications so you get to know every time I put out a new video. And if you feel this video has helped you, please remember to like it, share it with people you think can benefit from it. And I'd love to know in the comment section below what you thought of this video. Also, what you think I should be talking about, what information you need. If you have any specific questions about moving to the UK, please feel free to write to me either on Instagram or here, and I will try my best to help you out. Once again, thanks for watching and have a great week.